Hello, everyone. One of the things I wanted to talk about was seeing things around you. I've only flown in analog aircraft since I've begun my flight training. So the G1000 and advanced GPS and avionics is very interesting to me, and there's a lot of things I never even knew existed for general aviation aircraft. One of the things that first caught my eye in the beginning was the TIS, or the Traffic Information System. I thought it was really interesting that you can have alerts of up to 8 aircraft in your area at above you, 3,500 feet above you, or 3,000 feet below you, and within a 7.5 mile radius. This can be very beneficial to my situational awareness, and as I begin to fly more advanced aircraft, it's something I should definitely know. I also wanted to talk about how the system is able to show each aircraft their individual vectors and their altitudes, their specific altitudes that are within your general area. When the traffic becomes really close to you, it will turn yellow and it will give you an audible alert, which I also think is great for situational awareness. I thought was really, really interesting that I didn't know before. I also figured out that it's not a substitute for looking outside the aircraft at all. Not all aircraft have transponders. And if you aren't looking outside the aircraft and solely relying on this TIS system, you can find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in, where it might be a near miss or an actual collision in air. It also has topographical and terrain functions, which I thought were really cool for general aviation aircraft. These are things that I thought only existed in large airliners and commercial jets and private jets and such. I didn't think that general aviation aircraft were equipped with things such as this, that were able to show you the terrain, topographical information with the heights of things and such around you, and that you can get a 360 view of your terrain and topography, which will obviously give you an additional sense of situational awareness. The terrain function is able to give you a different color-coded system: black, yellow, and red. The black means that it's 1,000 feet, at least 1,000 feet under you. The yellow can be anywhere from 1,000 to 100 feet, and the red means that it's anywhere from less than 100 feet to 1 foot below you, essentially. So obviously the yellow and the red, you should heed caution, especially with the yellow, because you never know if you're 999 feet away from something or you're as little as 101 feet away from something, because it's just yellow and it has such a wide range. It'll also show you obstacles, similar to the symbols that we see in VFR charts. You'll have the half triangle with a dot, and then you'll also have kind of like a tower. And obviously in the VFR, the triangle looking shape on the GPS navigation system is similar or just the same as in a VFR chart, where it's under 1,000 feet, and if it's over 1,000 feet, it'll be more of that Eiffel Tower looking shape. I also found it very interesting that they have airways published on the G1000. So you're able to see both low and high airways, even though we most likely would not be using the high airways. The low airways for the G1000 and a general aviation aircraft that we're using right now would be super, super useful. And lastly, I wanted to talk about NEXRAD. I was blown away when I found out that general aviation aircraft have NEXRAD and have the ability to see weather and be able to interpret what the weather is doing in the area, as well as what the weather is doing en route and at the destination that they intend on doing. I understand that the NEXRAD can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes behind of what the weather is actually doing. And I understand that the NEXRAD can't be used to thread your way through a storm or through bad weather, but like many other things, it can give you greater situational awareness as you're flying, so you know you are up to date with the most current weather that you can be visually, and then you'd have to follow up with things like flight service stations, weather updates, and high WAS and things like that. That's about all I have for you. I enjoy, and I'm excited to see your videos, and I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for listening.